video today, we're looking at reasons why your birds are over 20 weeks and they have not laid any egg. People reach out to me, new farmers, old farmers, they just reach out to me. Oh, my birds are 20 weeks old. My birds are 21 weeks old. My birds are 23 weeks old. My birds are 25 weeks old and they have not laid any eggs. Modupe, what can I do? And I now have to start asking lots of questions. So I'm just going, in this video today, we're just going to look through some of these questions I ask whenever I get such calls or whenever I get such emails about birds over 20 weeks old that hasn't laid any egg. Stick around. Having been a layer poultry farmer in the last over 3 years, so there's some things I really can say, especially when I am reached out to that, oh, my birds are not laying any egg. So I have raised over, I think over maybe about 8 cycles of layer birds. Yes, over about 8 cycles. So and most of the time I usually get my first egg at 18 weeks and 2 days, 18 weeks and 5 days. I think the latest time I have gotten my first egg is about maybe 19 weeks and 3 days, and I was so worried. Because of course, yes, you will be worried. The farmer would be worried. You would expect that at least anytime from 18 weeks, 19 weeks, you should get your first egg. I have spoken to some other farmers who would tell me that they got their first egg at 16 weeks. Yes. So there's this farmer he told me that he usually meal his feed himself, and that by 16th week he has gotten his first egg. So you can imagine someone who hasn't gotten their first egg at over 22, 23 weeks. So yeah, we're just going to run through some of the issue that might some of the reasons for this delay. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Modupe. I am a layer poultry farmer doing business in Nigeria. So first thing first, one of the first questions I would always ask whenever I am contacted about this case is that, how did you get the birds? Did you buy them at day old, or did you buy the birds at point of cage, or did you buy the birds at point of lay? So sometimes some people raise their birds from day old themselves. Sometimes some people buy the birds from 10 weeks upward. Yeah, you can cage them from 10 weeks upward, 10 week, 12th week, 14th week. Then point of lay is 16 weeks. So that is the first question I always ask. How did you get these birds? So sometimes they will say they got the birds at maybe 14 week or even 16 week. Then the next question I have to ask is that, did you check through the vaccination and medication schedule from the farm you got the birds from? So now let us note that it doesn't mean that it is only points of lay chicken that I have this experience. I have also spoken to another farmer who has, yes, this farmer is not even a new farmer. I don't know if he's going to see this video. He's not even a new farmer. He has raised birds over time, like lots of them even. He broods his birds. So he has done some cycle and they were successful. So you can imagine if they did another cycle and he has not even seen his first egg at over 22 weeks. He raised the birds on his own farm. You understand? So this is not a case of it only happens with point of lay. No. So but let's leave the fact that the farmer raised the birds from day old himself. Yes, let's leave that aside, because yeah, this issue might happen. It's not like we'll leave it aside, but we can just take the same cases, the same scenario to them also. So now the first thing I would ask, like I said, is how did you get the birds? Did you raise them yourself from day old, or did you get point of lay? And of course, if you tell me that you got point of lay or point of cage, I would ask you, did you check the medication and vaccination schedule of that farm? This is very important, because sometimes some of these farms that raise points of lay, they are probably, if they are not honest people, and of course there are very few honest people around, so if they are not honest people and they are trying to cut corners and ensure that they make good profits themselves, they will do some things at the detriment of the birds, and the farmer who is going to get the birds is going to run into lots of trouble later on. So sometimes they may not give all the medication that they should give. Sometimes they may not give all the vaccination they should give, and sometimes they give all this vaccination but they don't give it in the right dosage. Like you're giving 3 in 1 now, and your using it in bits instead of you to give the birds the right dosage. So that is also another issue. Now, then another question I ask is, when the bird got to your farm, when the birds got to your farm, did you check the weight? So there are certain weights that your birds should have at certain age. Yes. So if you're getting your birds at 16 weeks and they are just 1 kg, or sometime 900 grams, or sometime it would give you a lot of issue when the birds get to your own farm. The weight of the bird is actually very important. It would only say that what you can deduce from the weight of your birds when they arrive at your farm at point of lay is that they were properly taken care of, they were properly fed. So if the birds were underfed from the farm they were coming from, the weights would be very low. And see, for your chickens to lay egg, they have to be a certain weight. They have to be 1.5 and above. So if your birds at 16 weeks, they're supposed to be like maybe 1.25, 1.3 kg, they are getting to your farm at 900 gram or 1 kg. Trust me, you are going to feed them. You are going to so feed them till they get that desired weight. Yes, and that means you're going to feed them for a longer time. So imagine you have done all your checks, you've done your planning, and you expected that, okay, you get your first egg at 19 weeks. And by the time they are 25, 26 weeks, you would have broken even, right? But now at 24 weeks, 23 weeks, you've not even seen the first egg. So aside that, it is emotionally draining because every day you're thinking that, okay, has the egg, have we seen the first egg? Has any of the chicken laid any egg? You're agitated. Aside being emotionally draining, it is also financially draining. So when you were doing your planning, you've thought that, okay, by the time you've used feed of about maybe 3 million naira, you'd have seen the first egg and start making something. But now you have now used feed of about 5 million naira and you have not seen the first egg. That is also financially draining. It is a whole lot of torture and all that. It is not what any farmer should go through. Sometimes you feel that you're feeding them well, like you're giving them the right quantity of feed even when they have gotten to your farm. But then the feed you are using, are they of good quality? So now I have talked about, if you're listening, I've talked about how did you get the birds, the weight of the birds. That's number 2. Then now we're talking about the feed that you're using for the birds. Sometimes you feel that, okay, you have 1,000 birds at your farm, 1,000 points of lay, and you're giving them, maybe 4 bags or 4.5 bags every day, which is fine. But that 4.5 bag you're giving them, are you sure that each bag, of course, each bag is supposed to be 25 kg, but are you sure each bag you're using is 25 kg? Because this feed company too, they're probably measuring 22 kg in that bag. So that means if they're measuring 22 kg in one bag and you feel you're giving your chickens 4.5 bags, at the end of the day, when you measure everything together, it might actually be 3 point something bags, which is also another issue. That means you're also underfeeding them. Then now, what is the quality of the feed you're using? Is the feed very good? Is the protein level okay? Is the fiber level okay? The energy percentage of that feed, is it great? So these are some of the things you would also have to look at also. This might also be another reason your birds are not laying egg. So sometime whenever I am reached out about this concern, I always ask them, what feed are you using? So of course, I've been in this business for some time. I am familiar with some feed. I don't know all the feed in Nigeria. I don't know all the layer poultry feed in Nigeria. No, I won't take credit for that. But when I hear the name of some feed, I'll be like, oh, that's a wonderful feed. Then what is now the issue? Then we'll now start looking at other things that, okay, could it be this? Could it be that? But when I hear the name of some feed, I'm like, oh, it will tell before you see it go, you're using this feed. Yes. So sometimes I'll probably advise the farmer that you should change your feed to something else. So I'll probably advise them on maybe the feed they can change to. No, I'm not going to mention any feed name here. No, don't ask me question, please. I am not going to answer any feed like what feed should we avoid. No, I am not answering that question here. So yeah, I'll just advise them that, okay, change your feed to a different one. or try and take a measurement of each bag of your feed so that you're sure that it is 25 kg that it is in that 25 kg. Another advice I give concerning feed is that maybe you should take the feed to a lab so that they can check they can check they can analyze the feed for you to be sure that it is good for your birds. So another thing is now your own farm management after the birds have arrived your farm. So sometimes you probably visit some farms, especially if the owner of the farm is not present. You see these people that we employ in our farms. It's like they don't want your progress, or they don't want the progress of the business. They just do things anyhow, because at the end of the day, ogata ogauta owo ape. Yeah, I'm a Yoruba person. It means that if he not sell, their own salary will be complete. Yeah. So sometimes you tell them to do this, or do this every morning, do this every day, do this every week, and they are not doing it. Okay, so let me use the instance of one of the people I said reached out to me about his farm. He told me that, of course, he has people he employed at the farm. So he told me that he got to, that anytime he gets to the farm, as he's walking around, he's noticing things, and that's happened to me also. He's now saying that, oh, why is this thing like this? He's probably checking the cages, and he's seeing that maybe like 5 cells of cages, 5 cells where birds are, where like maybe three birds are, there is no water. He will bring out check the nipple and discover that water is not coming out. So if the birds are not getting enough water to drink, it is also another issue. It is then they will now start running etasketa. Oh, it is this, it is that. It happens in most farms, especially when the owner of the business is not always there. So it is when he gets to the farm, that is when he is noticing something that could have been corrected maybe even hours ago. So you see, sometimes the reason why your birds are not laying when they should lay is also farm management. So yeah, I have listed some things here. And okay, wait, if you have not subscribed on this channel, now is the time to do so, because here on this channel I give tips to poultry farmers, I give tips on agriculture and all that. So if your birds are over 20 weeks and they have not laid any egg, this could be the reasons. It could be that and yeah, another thing I think I skipped is the age of the birds. So sometimes you're buying point of lay, you went to a farm and you told them, oh, you need point of lay. Sometimes they will tell you that these birds will be 16 weeks on the 22nd of October. But in all honesty, the bird would only be 14 weeks on the 22nd of October. They are not sincere with the ages of the birds. Yes, I shouldn't forget that. So sometimes these farms you're getting your birds from, they are not sincere with the age of the birds. So this is what I always advise, and this is what I do myself. Whenever I want to buy point of lay, as you know, I always buy point of lay at my farm. Whenever I want to buy point of lay, I reach out to the farm. Most of the time, I know when the birds are arriving at their farm. I know that maybe the birds is arriving on the 22nd of October. So from 22nd of October, we are following it back to back. Okay, 22nd of October, it is a day old. By 30th of, is it 30th of October? Maybe 29th of October, it is 1 week old. So we are following it like that. Then I am certain that at least by February 12th, it will be 16 weeks. You understand? So we are following it together, and I'm also reaching out to them. Oh, please, can I see your log? So I see the weight of the birds and all that. And I also ensure I visit the farm. I think I have a video about when I visited the farm that I wanted to buy point of lay from. At least within that 16-week cycle, that's when I will get the birds at 16 weeks. Within that time, at least try to ensure you visit that farm like twice. Maybe at the 5th week, and maybe just try and ensure you visit so that you can know that, and maybe you can also check there that, okay, what is the weight of this bird, what is the weight of this bird. These are way, because you're paying that money, it is a huge investment on your part. One point of lay at the moment is heading to 5k. So imagine you want to buy even 500 or 1000 birds. You know how much that is? 1000 birds now is heading to 5 million naira. So you now want to put that kind of money and and not visit that farm that you want to buy from, I don't think you're fair to yourself. So yeah, try and visit the farm you want to purchase your point of lay from. Try and always get their medication and vaccination schedule. Try to know the weight of the birds at every time. So that's what I do. I will just call the person, hello guy, what's up? Oh, these are our birds that you say they are 8 weeks today. Please let me know what their weight is. Of course, they'll run random checks. And sometimes, of course, people might lie to you, and that is why you also have to visit yourself. Is your investment, secure your investment. So yeah, that's one another reason why your bets, you would think the bets are 20 weeks, but they are actually 18 weeks. So by the time they now lay their first egg at 22 weeks, you're complaining that, oh, it is taking so long. The bets were the bets, because they were not 16 weeks when they got to your farm. So yeah, that also is also another issue. Insincerity of farmers raising point of lay. Another reason that I mentioned is probably farm management at your own hand. Yes, another reason is probably the type of feed you're using. This may be the reason why your birds are over 20 weeks and they have not laid an egg yet. So yeah, I hope that with this you're able to know why your birds have not laid egg, and you can put measures in place to ensure that you get your birds so fast. So now there's also another issue. When your birds don't lay when they should lay, when they don't lay when they don't lay at 18 weeks, 19 weeks, it would affect them later on. They probably might not be good laying birds. And that's also another issue. Like this farmer I said that raised his birds from day old and they did not lay any egg. He was telling me that he's probably going to sell them off at 26 weeks because they're eventually not going to do so well. So I think that was what he did. He just sold them off. If you've had this experience where your birds were over 20 weeks and they didn't lay, please share with us. Let other farmers learn from you. Yeah. And so that's about it today. That's the reason why your 20 weeks old birds, over 20 weeks old birds, are not laying yet. Thank you for watching. Till we see on another video. Bye bye.